Man, I feel like I weigh 60 extra pounds because of the humidity.
Ugh. Ugh.
You just walk outside, and because I don't wear shorts too. But it's amazing. I feel like I weigh a lot more than I really do. And then I came into the apartment, and the air conditioner had been turned off. And then I turned it on for a few minutes, and we'll see how bad it gets in here. Right now, it is 73 degrees in my apartment. By the end of the show, I'm going to bet it will be 84.
Oof. Take off your pants now.
No.
Take them off.
Nope. I will not take off my pants.
Why? Why don't you wear shorts?
We've talked about this. There's no style of shorts that I like. I do not.
I don't. I think that you decided that that was the case, and then you've never gone back to see if there's a style of short.
There's not. I browse the net every single day looking for shorts. I've made it my mission. Like, it is part of my... It's part of my daily routine. Twice. I don't even eat breakfast. Instead of breakfast, I browse for shorts. And it's all shit. Because right now, the style shorts are very short shorts, tight fitting, plaid designed. I don't want anything to do with any of that.
You gotta go and try stuff on. You never know what things are gonna look like unless you put it on.
No, you know what they're going to look like. I know myself. I know.
Nah, you don't know.
I know. I also have a, somewhat bow legs. It's not the whole leg. It's like the bottom half of the leg.
Yeah, that's being bow-legged.
Well, no, some people have the whole leg is like a bow.
Oh.
Like the top.
Yours, even if it's just the bottom, it's still bow-legged.
Yeah, so I just don't wear shorts.
But bow-legged docility is cool.
No.
There are women who like bow-legged men.
Okay, well, I'm not in the market for women to like me because I have bow legs.
I want to see them bow legs.
I'm fine with the pants.
I want you to get some vitamin D on them bow legs.
Also, taking off the pants right now when I'm still hot from the humidity, it's like peeling them off.
Ugh,
it's very uncomfortable.
So good.
It's just better to let it dry and then try to get them off.
Man, the second I get in my house, I want to peel off my pants.
Well, that's you.
Yeah, and I'm better.
You're entitled to the likes of your life. Shut up with this siren. Can you hear this thing?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. Probably
too loud.
It sounded like an ambulance trying to tell someone to get out of the way because probably some jerk on a skateboard doesn't give a shit. And so the ambulance like and the person just skateboarding indignantly.
Yep. Not even looking to see like, oh, what's behind me? I'll get out of the way when I want to. Skate or die.
Yeah, how dare you? I'm skateboarding here.
I'm skateboarding.
If you're over 25, and I've said this before, but I will always say it, because if you're over 25 and you're skateboarding, you should be locked up.
Unless you're a professional. Skateboarder.
Now there's another siren.
Honk, honk, honk.
We can't do the show. There's too many sirens.
Okay. Well, today's episode was about not being able to do the show. I guess we kind of had an episode like that.
When?
Which one was that? That was the one around COVID, I think. Where we're like, we do not know what to do or think or say.
Yeah, I was in a mood then.
Yeah.
I was really angry that COVID was happening in the first place.
Yeah.
And I was being a child.
Stages of grief.
Well, there was real denial for a long time, and it still existed, even with work.
Well, I don't know. You know what? I also think of it as denial, but I wonder if it was more. Let's not overreact. You know, it felt like some of the measures or some of the thinking based on like what people were saying and those people who were saying things not being experts and not knowing who or what to believe. It really just seemed, I think for us, we were trying to not to overreact.
No, it was still denial. New York was already bad. And it's like, okay, this thing is bad here. And it was still denial.
Yeah, all right.
Like even with work, You have to come up with new systems, how to get footage to editors.
Yeah.
And moving around video footage isn't the easiest thing. And you need to put new systems in place and backing up that footage and all this boring stuff. But for months, it was just like, let's just get through this. We'll be back in the office before you know it. So we never really came up with systems. It was just kind of flying by the seat of our pants until it was, okay, this is going on for a long time. Let's come up with new systems.
Yeah.
Just now, almost 5 months after the fact.
Yeah. The whole school thing is on my mind a lot, because Ellie is going to have distance learning for the first semester. And so until December, I guess. And I mean,
it's going to be the whole year. It's going to be the whole year. It
might be, and it's not like I'll be shocked if that's the case. But what I'm thinking about, I have a setup where I can keep her and watch her and help her as much as I can during those, for however long it takes, for her to do the distance learning. But there are so many other people who can't do that. And I don't know what they're going to do.
Especially first graders. I think anything in elementary school, this is really hurting more so. If a 10th grader misses a year or has a remote learning year, okay, fine, whatever. But the stuff you learn in first grade, that's the foundation of stuff. You're gonna have a whole generation of morons.
Even more moronic than they might have already turned out to be.
Yeah. Just piling on.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie.
Yeah, I don't know.
The dumb.
Ellie is pretty sharp, so
well, she'll be dulled. She'll be dulled soon.
I don't know. Yeah. She's pretty. We'll see. But and I'm gonna do my best. I've been teaching her like sewing.
Every parent does say that my kid's really sharp. I mean, I guess some kids are just dumb, and those parents probably
that's
don't
not
say
true.
it.
There are a lot of parents who are like, my kid is not prepared for this.
Most people that I know who have kids are like, my kid is so smart. What a smart kid. Really one of the smartest kids I've ever seen in the world.
Well, I didn't say that.
And then the parents are like so prideful. I did.
Yeah, like
you didn't do anything.
I know. It does kind of feel like you had something to do with it.
You didn't do anything.
No,
you just mix
not really.
some. You mix some
you
cells.
put your chromosomes in there.
Yeah, somewhere that's built into you. But even that you didn't create. It's not like you sat in the lab and created your own chromosomes and genes and, you worked hard on those. And then the kids, yeah, I put those to use. I spent hours in the garage on the workbench creating the genes. And then I injected them into this fetus. And now it's the smartest kid. Then I could all right, you created that.
Yeah, and then it's almost like you have to plant the seed and let it grow until they're like 5. And then you get a better idea of how smart they are. You're like, oh, all right. All the hard work and the late nights in the garage putting those genes together for this kid really paid off.
Yeah.
No.
It's like the people who used to build those robots that had those wars. They would go battle each other, BattleBots. Mm-hmm. Those people are probably proud. See, they have more reason to be proud when their BattleBot wins because they created the thing. Yeah.
They thought ahead about how to prevent themselves from getting cut in half by the one with like the saw blade.
Yeah, the diamond-tipped saw blade.
Yeah, or like the hammer, the pointy hammer thing that would come down and poke a hole right in the top of your BattleBot.
I feel like they were the most boring to watch, but I think the most effective were the ones that just had the wedge and would go really fast and try to flip the robot over.
Yeah, the wedge. You're right. Who was the host of that?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay, it was someone. It was somebody. I'll tell you what.
You can look it up quickly if you like. Host of BattleBots.
Host of BattleBots?
Apparently it's still 2019. No, I don't want to. I want...
Oh, Bill Dwyer is who I remember.
Oh, who is that?
It's a comedian.
Not a very good one.
You just don't know comedians.
I don't
People
know that.
Know who Bill Dwyer is.
No, nobody knows Bill Dwyer.
Yeah, they do.
What's his big bit?
Let's see.
What did Bill Dwyer do?
What did Bill Dwyer do?
Bill Dwyer had a whole bit on Miracle Whip.
Is that true?
Was it really a miracle? Really? That's
Death couch.
That's the standard we're setting? We're calling a condiment a miracle?
Hilarious.
Jesus walking on water. That's a miracle. Fake mayonnaise on your highly processed turkey. Is that a miracle? His special is called, Miracle on whatever. What street could he be on?
Instead of 34th?
Yeah. It's like it's
34th.
just some dumb street.
Yeah, Maine.
Yeah, Miracle on Main Street with Bill Dwyer in Anytown, USA.
Miracle? Question mark.
This whole thing, the whole show's about miracles, and then it lands him a job on BattleBots.
Yep. Hey, he got on BattleBots. He was on BattleBots for like 2 years.
Look at this. Bill Dwyer, the one you're talking about is not even the first one that comes up. The mobster comes up. Bill Dwyer is mobster. Big Bill Dwyer. Man, he was an early Irish-American prohibition gangster and bootlegger in New York during the 20s. Now this is a guy to know. He eventually was brought down by the U.S. government through legal actions, leaving him penniless at the end of his life in 1946. Man, he used his profits to buy the New York Americans and Pittsburgh Pirates of the National Hockey League, and then as well as the Brooklyn Dodgers of the National Football League. So these are teams that, weren't the best known. But still, he was buying sports teams with his bootlegged money.
That's interesting. All right. He's in some things.
What, you're Bill Dwyer?
He was in Ski School.
What is that?
Ski School. It's one of those 80s ski movies.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's 1991.
He was on Comedy Bang Bang. Children's Hospital.
Okay. Bill Dwyer did something.
Parks and Rec.
Ugh, worst show ever.
That's not true.
I never watched an episode, so I can't really say
There's one show called Don't Make Me Sick.
Maybe he's fine.
No, he's cool. I like him. Oh, he was on Ally McBeal.
Oh, no.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga.
Here are some of his acts. Bill Dwyer, effing funny. Bill Dwyer on why getting old is just a matter of perspective.
Effing funny. That's what someone posted as, not him. That's the name of the
that's what
YouTuber posting it.
No, that was the name of his special.
No.
Bill Dwyer, effing funny.
No. Incorrect. Effing funny is the name of the YouTube post.
Just full of surprises, isn't it?
That's posted. Oh
my God. Your whole life you hate old people, and then you are one. Great.
Listen, when you set anything up like that and then mock it in that way, it's gonna sound dumb. So poor Billy Dwyer.
I'm just a heel. I'm playing the role of a heel since I'm a big fan of wrestling. Hulk Hogan turning heel, Bash at the Beach.
That was funny.
1996.
When he did that. He's like, oh, he's gonna come save the day.
And then a guillotine leg dropped Macho Man.
I bet people were crushed.
People were, and then they were throwing trash at the ring. Because Hulk Hogan had spent his whole life being the good guy. Take your vitamins.
American hero.
Yeah, I'm just playing the heel. That's all I'm doing. Bill Dwyer, you suck. It's just it's so easy.
Greg's a jerk.
You suck.
I am a real American.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American. Fight for what's right. Fight for your life.
Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ. Autumn, set us up.
It is my week, and right before we hit the record button, we had a discussion about what this week's topic was, and we had a little disagreement. I wanted it to be about candy bars, as an umbrella for a debate that you and I had over text yesterday about Milky Way nougat versus Snickers nougat.
Yeah, but that was actually the inspiration for the show. So I really think the show, and no matter how long the show is, I know we usually go an hour, and we'll see. We're not going to purposely make it short. We're not going to push it, but I think that the real point of discussion for this week's show should be that nougat. The nougat that is in a Snickers and the nougat that is in a Milky Way, because there was a disagreement that we had, which is you think the nougat is different in a Milky Way.
It's more
different in it's just different nougat in the two different bars.
Yes, that the nougat inside a Milky Way is different than the nougat inside a Snickers.
And I say
it's more that I think that it is, but I also feel like it is.
I say you're absolutely wrong. It is the same exact nougat in the two.
The nougat inside the Milky Way is like a chocolatey flavor versus the nougat in a Snickers, which is, I don't know, like plain.
What is plain?
I don't know what nougat is anyway. A nut-based marshmallow fluff or something?
Well, nougat that's in these candy bars isn't actually probably real nougat anyway. Nougat
what
is...
a stupid word.
Well, it's a confection of nougat.
Nougat.
Nougat. In the UK, they pronounce it nougat.
Oh, do they? Nougat.
In the UK. Why'd you make it French?
Because nougat.
No, maybe that is the French pronunciation.
It probably is.
No, it's not. It says UK nougat.
Yeah, because they're getting it from France. Nothing has a T at the end and pronounced that way that isn't French.
That's true. You're right. But I don't, what nougat is, it's made with sugar or honey and roasted nuts, usually almonds, walnuts, pistachios, hazelnuts, macadamia nuts, whipped egg whites, and sometimes chopped with candied fruit. That sounds absolutely disgusting.
I could see that.
Candied fruit.
What's wrong with candied fruit?
I'm as strange as it is, and we've talked about this before. You refer to fruit as nature's candy.
Oh yeah.
Nature's candy.
Nature's candy.
Which
like grapes. Oh my god, a bag of sweet ass grapes, not the bullshit grapes that you can get now that are like cotton candy flavored. Is
that real?
That is like yes, it is an abomination.
When did these things pop up?
I think I saw them like 2 years ago.
Cotton candy grapes. I'm not even in the market for any fruit because you would think my love of sweetness I would get into fruits, but I'm not. I don't really like fruits. Cotton candy grapes are a variety of sweet table grapes whose flavor has been compared to cotton candy. Okay, so at least it seems like these things are, well, the grapes were developed by horticulturist David Kane and his team at the Bakersfield, California-based fruit breeder, International Fruit Genetics. So maybe they set out to purposely make it taste like cotton candy. I'm sure that they did.
People freak out over them. They're like, they posted on my crofting group, like, the cotton candy grapes are at the Giant. I'm like, cool, I'm going to go burn down the Giant because it's disgusting. Anyway.
What about Autumn Royal grapes?
Ooh, those sound delicious and a little spicy.
Okay, so we're getting off topic, but fruit, surprisingly, I like bananas when they've been sitting out for a week and a half.
Which means they're sweeter.
Yes.
And I like a banana that's a little less sweet.
And I got into apples at one point. I was trying to taste all the different apples that I could come across.
Honeycrisp.
Which, it's quite the undertaking to do such a thing, and only someone who doesn't have obligations, like a family, has the time to go around and taste all the different apples. As someone said.
Oh, of course. Someone like me. As someone
threw in my face, as though I'd made poor life choices. And so go enjoy the emptiness. You're not going to get the fulfillment of having it's just very busy, and there's a lot of obligations and just a lot of time that needs to be put. So enjoy having the apple tasting. Okay. Bless you.
Thank you. Someone like me is very busy.
You sneezed, but no one heard it. I don't have time.
Huh?
You sneezed, but no one heard it. That's why I said bless you. Oh, boy. Everyone heard that.
I know, I'm having like a sneezing fit.
Okay, so anyway, getting back to nougat. Wait, you had something else to say? You've
I
run
was
out.
going to say someone like me.
You've run out of bless yous, by the way.
I know. It's been too many.
I give 2, and that's it.
Just 2?
Yeah, in a 30-minute period.
I don't know what's happening. Ugh, I need to blow my nose.
Not going to happen. No more bless yous.
No, I don't have anything around me to blow my nose on.
All right, what were we saying? Oh, boy.
I'm really allergic to good topics.
You want me to
so
just...
I think this is our best topic. This is the most allergies I've had.
I'm going to go for a walk around the block, and I'll come back.
Look, I'm going to take...
You're going to take this dirty laundry that's coming out of the hamper.
This is an old shirt. I'm going to blow my nose into it. I'm allergic to good content. So we're doing great. I was going to say someone like me is so busy. So I don't have time to find the perfect, sweetest, most best tasting apple.
That was not what the search was for. The search was just to try all the different apples. There was no end goal. It wasn't, I need to find the best tasting, sweetest. It was just...
Well, how very zen of you.
It was just, there's all these different kinds of apples, and I would like to get to know them. That's all that mission was about.
Okay, so the nougat issue.
So nougat, I think what in the candy bars that we know and love, though, isn't even real nougat. I don't know if it's regulated in the same way as ice cream, where I guess they can still call it nougat, so they don't have to say nougaty, or like when chocolate isn't actually.
Yeah.
It's not chocolate because it's got too much oil in it. And they have to call it chocolatey.
I knew about the ice cream one where it'll say, like, you'll pick out a Breyers or something, and then on the description, or like in the front of it, it'll say, dairy dessert.
Yeah, frozen
And
dairy dessert.
Yeah, it can't say ice cream. I did not know about the chocolatey one until recently.
Yeah, there are strict regulations for these things. But I think nougat, these are just packed filled with additives and preservatives. And
Oh, sure.
apparently there isn't some kind of regulatory board that protects the integrity of nougat, so they call it nougat. But anyway, for the sake of this, you claim that you hate Snickers to begin with.
I dislike a Snickers. I know that people think that Snickers is the best version of a candy bar because they feel like it's the healthiest because it has peanuts. Get over yourself. All right, then have a Mr. Good bar. No thanks.
No.
Because that's a bunch of garbage.
No, Mr. Good bars aren't real chocolate. Those say chocolatey on them.
They do?
Yeah, Mr. Good bar, the top sellers usually get the real chocolate, and the lesser of the candy bars are in a lower tier. Mr.
Okay.
Good bar, for the most part, from what I remember, it's a chocolatey. And there's a weird consistency to Mr. Good bar if you think about it.
What about Crunch Bar?
It's kind of soft.
Is that chocolatey?
A Nestle Crunch?
Yeah. Probably not because it's Nestle. But wait, no, because Mr. Good Bar's Nestle too.
Yeah, they just make the choice on when they want to get cheap and save some money, and because it's about the amount of cocoa butter.
Okay.
Crunch Bar, I think, that's real chocolate. A crackle? I don't know.
Oh, a crackle.
See, now we're actually talking about candy bars, which is what you wanted to talk about. But the debate is, I think that the nougat is exactly the same in a Snickers and a Milky Way.
But it does taste different, right?
Well, because
you have to admit.
No, because there's the other ingredient in there. You've got the peanuts in there. That completely changes the taste profile.
You think it could... Oh. So, like, when you eat something sweet, and then you have, like, a drink of Coca-Cola or something, and then the Coca-Cola doesn't taste as sweet? So you think it changes... Okay. You think the peanuts are somehow changing the taste of the nougat because you're also simultaneously
you're not tasting just the nougat. So how can you would have to isolate the nougat and taste the nougat separately, which luckily we can do on the show because I bought a Milky Way and a Snickers, and you're going to have to trust me. While I think that you are wrong, I will tell you if they do taste different. Because I'm not emotionally invested in this in any way. And, a lot of the times I do have a need to prove you wrong because I like to feel superior. But this situation, I'm going to put that aside.
Okay.
The pettiness.
Thank you. That's good of you.
I'm going to be an adult.
Yeah. It takes a strong, confident man to admit something like that.
So I'm going to go get a knife and a cutting board here so we can cut around the caramel. Which, how do you pronounce that, by the way? Do you say caramel? Are you a caramel person?
I think it depends. Like, I wouldn't say caramel corn. I say caramel corn.
Yeah, I
but
guess
I
you're
would
right.
if I was saying like, oh, this candy bar has caramel in it.
You're right with that because it's spelled caramel. But
Yeah,
I wouldn't,
caramel.
Yeah, I wouldn't say caramel corn. I'd say caramel corn.
But it's the same thing with pecans. I say pecan sandies, but I say pecan tree.
Pecan.
Depends on the context.
I just like saying pecan because it really gets people's heads to turn in the Northeast.
Oh, really?
Even the same with crawdad. You made a crawdad. Not that you come across
There's
those
so
too
many
often.
names for crawdads. Crayfish.
Crawfish.
What are the other ones? Langostinos.
No, those are different.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right, let's dissect this shit.
quickly with the Snickers, I'm with you. I'm not a huge fan of the Snickers. A lot of people do go to it. It's their favorite. It's my favorite. And I feel like Milky Way gets shit on. A lot of people aren't a fan of the Milky Way. And it's only lacking the peanuts. Or the Mars bar as the Milky Way is in the UK. And then the Mars bar exists in the US, but I never see it. I mean, you see it. Have you ever had a Mars bar?
I don't think so.
What is in a Mars bar in the US?
Well, isn't it the same thing? In the
UK, a Mars bar is a Milky Way.
Yeah. Mars bar US.
Oh, an American version of the Mars bar was produced, which had nougat and toasted almonds. That actually sounds pretty good. Why did I never get this thing?
I don't know. It does sound good.
But in the UK, the Mars bar is the Milky Way. So, all right, let me go to my kitchen, which is in the same room that I'm in now, where my desk is.
Let me say something.
Which is also my living room. You can keep speaking because my headphones will stretch over to the kitchen portion of this gigantic apartment I live in New York.
When you no.
What?
When you cut through a Mars bar, a USA Mars bar, that nougat looks different than the US Milky Way nougat.
Okay, well, stop bringing the Mars bar into this because the discussion was the Snickers and the Milky
Same
Way.
thing with the Snickers. The Snickers nougat looks the same as the UK Mars bar nougat. The Milky Way nougat looks different.
We'll get into this here in a second because now I've got the cutting board in place. I've got the knife. Let me tell you, by weight, Snickers bar is a better value. The weight of a Milky Way is 1.84 ounces, whereas a Snickers is 1.86 ounces.
Well, it changes.
Well, those things change, yes, depending on the price of chocolate.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? I didn't know that. I didn't know like the weight of candy bars change.
Well, yeah, because they don't want to change the price of the candy bar, right? The candy bar is fixed in terms of price. And so they just adjust accordingly. I do look at the ounces quite often on candy bars to see what kind of value you're getting. A York peppermint patty, which I love, it's not really a good value. Much less weight.
But it packs a punch.
I feel like it should give you two of those in a pack.
Yeah, but I don't know. When I finish York peppermint patty, I'm definitely done with that.
Oh, I'll eat them all day. And one of my favorite things is to break the York peppermint patty near my ear and listen to the noise it makes. There's no other.
Oh, it does make a little like.
Yeah, is there anything else that matches that noise?
Definitely, very satisfying.
Okay, so I'm opening the Milky Way. I do like I've always been a big fan of the design on the bottom of candy bars.
Oh, the bottom?
Yeah.
That like grid thing?
It's like a wave.
It looks like a nail file?
It's a waveform of some
you're talking about the top.
No, the bottom.
What? Let me see the bottom. Show it to me.
Are you going to be able to see this? I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the camera. You should just...
Oh, interesting.
You've never
never realized it was like a little wavy pattern.
Okay.
Okay.
White chocolate, by the way, which I know you're not a fan of. Quite often, they have a white chocolate Snickers now. Those are less. They always get less. For some reason, the white chocolate is more, it costs more. It's a premium product.
White chocolate Reese cups, barf.
Frozen Reese cups of any sort. Mm-mm. You got to freeze
Like
that Reese cup.
as in no.
Yeah, since it's getting hot in my apartment, it's now up to 80 degrees.
Oh no.
And the candy bar's integrity. It's a soft bar. Okay.
Yeah, the Three Musketeers is a soft bar.
The Three Musketeers, a little trivia. Why is it called the Three Musketeers?
I don't know why.
Because when it first was introduced, there were 3 different flavors of nougat. There was a vanilla nougat, a strawberry nougat, and a chocolate nougat.
Oh.
And then they got rid of it.
The chocolate nougat prevailed.
Man, this is harder to do than you would think. The nougat's really smashed in these things. And maybe it's the direction I cut the candy bar, but it smashed the caramel down in it. And I fear that the temperature in my apartment is having a real effect on this experiment. These are not ideal settings, but I finally... Here we go. I've got a piece here. More caramel than you would think. Not as much nougat as you would think. I'm going to show you the 2 different nougats, too, to see if you can even tell the difference by look alone. I have a feeling you will not be able to. You know why?
Why don't you put your finger over the top so that so I can't tell if they're nuts or not, and I'll be able to tell the difference.
Oh, I'm cutting the nut part out.
Oh, bring it on.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
It's contaminated.
All right. Okay.
Oh yeah, dog.
Whoa, yeah, dog, what?
I can tell the difference.
Well, which one's which?
Okay. Well, how do your left is the Snickers.
Fine.
Yes.
Look.
You have to take a picture of that so that we can show people.
I already ate it. I'm not gonna.
You have to take another picture.
I'm not cutting up another piece. No, those people can do the experiment.
Can you? So now you've just eaten the Snickers one, right? The Snickers Noog, Snick Noog.
You're right. The Snickers has a lighter nougat. I was wrong.
Wow.
I spent all that energy last night. It looks like the Snickers has a darker nougat, like the Three Musketeers nougat, which I guess is a chocolate nougat.
Yeah, the Three Musketeers has the darker nougat.
Who knows what the Snickers has? A vanilla? An almond? No.
Yeah, I think it's a different flavor. You tell me. You just had the Snickers Noog. Tell me what you tasted.
I don't know. You can't really differentiate the taste.
Yes, you can.
No, it didn't taste much different to me.
Okay.
It really didn't taste much different. I'll send you a picture of the cutting board so you can post that for people to see.
Okay.
But this is becoming a mess. It's now 81 degrees in my apartment.
Too hot. I said open up your refrigerator. Just leave it open behind you. You cool up your apartment.
Like when people use their ovens to heat their apartments in the winter.
Yeah. And then they die.
All right, so while there's probably a difference in taste, it's really harder to cut just the nougat out than you would think.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, fine. The Zero Bar has an almond nougat. I know that for sure.
I don't like the packaging of the Zero Bar. I don't like that it's silver.
You don't like a Zero
And
Bar.
blue.
You don't like a Zero Bar in general because it's white chocolate.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, gross. You know what, though? When I was a kid, those white chocolate Hershey Kisses with, like, the little black speckles in it, I loved those.
The speckles?
Yeah, I don't know what they were. They, like, little chocolatey rice things?
Oh, I have no clue.
Oh, they were like, the cookie. Okay, you know the Hershey bar that you can get that's white chocolate and it has, like...
the cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream, yes.
Which
they had a cookies and cream Kisses, and I used to like eat the shit out of those.
Cookies and cream is one of those, when they're expanding candy bars and they're trying to come up with new ones, and usually they're pretty ridiculous. I was a fan of the cookies and cream, but it always made me very thirsty.
It did?
Yeah, there was something about that one that really triggered thirst. I gotta
What's your favorite candy bar of all time?
Sorry, I'm eating in the mic, and I know that's gross, but I've got now all this chocolate in front of me. I don't know how to answer that. There's not a go-to like it's my favorite. I love it.
Milky Way Dark.
much.
That's what I would. If I had a choice to get something for you, I'd pick out the Milky Way Dark
And
or
the Milky Way Dark
gummy
is,
something. But if I'm talking about candy bar, I'd pick the Milky Way Dark.
well, the Milky Way Dark is very delicious, and I think that is a vanilla nougat in there. That's a white nougat. Those are very, very sweet though. They're super sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Twix.
Oh yeah, Twix is upper echelon candy bar.
Do you deconstruct your candy bars when you eat them? I tend to, something like the Twix, I eat the caramel off and then the cookie separate.
Oh, so I don't do it with the Twix, but I do it with a Kit Kat. I have a whole system where like I take the little shelf off the bottom of every side, and then I'll like if I find that it's not breaking very well, as far like so I want to take the top layer off first. So if that's not coming off complete enough, then I'll break the Twix in half, and then I'll do it that way. And then I like to like scrape that weird, I don't know what that like grainy, sugary substance is
That's in between the wafers.
Yeah. But I like to scrape that off.
Look, it's a way to stretch out the enjoyment of the candy.
Reese cups though are my all-time favorite. And
what about the Reese cups with the Reese's Pieces inside?
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. That's like saying you can have extra sex while having sex. It's like we're already having sex.
But maybe you throw a toy in.
It's like
it's a little more
your
exciting.
Dessert with more dessert. Shut up.
Hey, the ice cream cake. That's pretty much what that is. We took a cake and we shoved it with ice cream. And it's one of the best creations ever.
Yeah, that's not really... no, because ice cream and cake is a thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, ice cream and cake is already a thing. So really you've just smushed these two things that are had together into one.
Well, Reese's Pieces and peanut butter cups are already things.
No, but you don't have those things together.
Maybe people...
Like you have ice cream and cake together.
Maybe people do. Maybe that was a thing. You know, some people throw M&Ms into their popcorn.
Oh, Milk Duds. I thought.
Well, that's maybe something people do
Same
also.
thing. Yeah. Salty and sweet.
But it's Milk Duds is another one. That's not real chocolate. You can tell down the outside.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely tell.
It's like wax.
Yeah. They regular chocolate will not contain this caramel. I feel like it's not real caramel either. It's probably something else.
It's a little harder, right? The caramel that they create.
Sugary goo.
All right, so the show is not about the nougat anymore because it was very anticlimactic, I feel.
No, it was good. It was very climactic.
Well, no, I felt as like...
Especially because I was right.
Almost immediately. I don't remember the nougat being this light in the Snickers.
Well, you just don't know your candy bars like I do.
Look, I guess
Let me tell you what I do with my Reese cup real quick.
Okay, freeze it.
No, I mean, no.
Remember
Who's got time
Remember
for
that time I froze a Reese cup and gave it to you, and you're like, ew.
There's no way that was my reaction.
Your reaction was,
ew.
It was very out of line because a frozen Reese cup is one of the most delicious ways to eat it's worth the wait because they don't freeze too hard. You freeze some other chocolates and it breaks your teeth. You bite into it, it cracks off.
Oh, you can't freeze a Toblerone. You can't freeze a Toblerone and then enjoy it frozen.
Mm-mm.
You'll break your jaw off.
No, but a Reese cup is one of the perfect freezing candies.
Because how frozen can peanut butter really get?
Well, not too frozen.
Not too frozen.
Okay.
What I like to do with my Reese cup is I like to bite it until it has like the half moon, like a third of it is left at the bottom, and then I like to put my tongue in the what is it, like the what is this little scoop that's like the hollow of the chocolate part of the Reese cup, and then eat the chocolate after that.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So you lick out the peanut butter?
But only at the very end. So like when you have like an inch or inch and a half of the Reese cup left, at the back end of it or something, it's got the chocolate on the outside and the peanut butter on the inside, and I like to scoop out the peanut butter. Again, what is that peanut butter? That's not peanut butter, but whatever that concoction is, peanut butter and powdered sugar. Yeah, you scoop that out with your tongue, and then you have like a little well of chocolate, and then you eat that.
It still tastes good, even if that's not actual peanut butter. Because
oh yeah, it's way better than peanut butter.
What are those Justin's peanut butter cups?
No.
I think they try to use real peanut butter in those, and then it just kind of melts all over your face.
Yeah, it's full of too much oil.
Yeah,
in real peanut butter, no.
You have to invent things that keep on the shelf. And obviously, a lot of them are packed with preservatives. But, Starburst, for example, are wrapped. It's so much waste with all the paper, but they have to because they melt together otherwise.
I love the idea of it not being wrapped. And you just get this, like, weird, cubular tube.
Well, that's why the consistency of the Starburst minis that don't come wrapped is different. Like, those aren't the same as Starburst.
No, and they're not very good.
No, they had to make them different so that they wouldn't stick together.
They should not be called Starbursts. If they're going to make something like that, you can't call them Starbursts because that's not what you're getting. You're getting something else. Call them like stars. Mini stars.
Yeah, Starburst cousins.
Yeah.
Member of the Starburst family.
Sure. But don't call them Starburst because I'm expecting to have a Starburst. And what I get is some weird, like, this isn't gum and it doesn't taste as good as a Starburst.
Man, I'm really disappointed in this Nougat. I said that I wasn't that invested, but I really wanted to throw it in your face. I'm like, and point and laugh. Yeah. Wrong.
Yeah. I knew I was right. So
it's just such a rare occurrence. Got a little cocky. What can I say?
Yeah.
Usually I am right.
What's that on your face, Greg? Is that egg? You have something on your cheek, Greg. Oh, it's a bit of egg.
I'll eat crow.
Oh.
Give me crow to gnaw.
Where did that come from? Eat crow.
I'll dig into its body, bite off its feathers, meat and crow. Because I lost the great nougat debate.
Yep.
Who knew?
Autumn wins.
Fatality. Allergic to peanuts. Eat a Snickers.
Yep. All right, are we good?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're good on that part of it. So the show is just more about candy bars in general, or candy. As you said, I do prefer. I like chocolate. I get Nestle. I go through phases. You asked me what my favorite is. I was going through a real Three Musketeers phase for quite a while. And I would eat that by taking the chocolate off and then just eating the nougat plain.
I used to do that in school, like in college when I was bored.
It's just a way
and then you get those weird little sugar coughs because it's so sweet. You get that weird, like...
Nestle Crunch Bar, I don't like the new design. They've broken it up into 4 pieces.
No.
Yeah, because before it was just a full bar that said crunch on it. It was a nice mold, a nice design.
Really nice, yeah.
And now they've divided it. It still says crunch on each of the 4 pieces, but not lengthwise. It's the width of it now. It goes across, and it's been broken into 4 pieces with, what would you call it? That makes it easier to break. It's not a perforation because it's similar.
Yeah, like little
it's like a score
areas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a score, so you can just break it off.
Okay.
Which, whatever, the bar is the same. It's a little disappointing because I thought the mold they were formed perfectly. It was like very nice.
It was really nice to see. It had like an old world charm.
Yeah, like a Wonka bar.
It did. Crunch bars, I feel like, are only good when they're in those mini forms and you get them at Halloween. That's the only time I'm gonna.
You like those? They're
Well,
thicker.
I don't like them.
No, those are thicker. Those aren't that good. The thinner, that's the way to go with the Crunch
Oh,
Bar.
you like them thinner?
Yeah, the thinner, because then you get more of the effect of the puffed rice.
Yeah. How does the puffed rice stay crunchy?
Well, it's not floating in liquid.
Well, it was at some point.
With the chocolate, I think that the cooling process is probably very quickly.
Oh, okay. So maybe
Or
they
it happens,
freeze it. They
happens very quickly.
yeah, they like nitrogen. They put nitrogen on it or something.
We would need Mark Summers to walk us
Yes.
through this. What was the name of his show? Unwrapped.
Unwrapped. I was like, it's not how it's made. That had zero production value.
That was just that narrator and that music. Dun 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 dun.
And then sometimes it'd have in the very beginning, to have like a little display of whatever they were talking about. That a camera would go around like half a thing, and then half the other way, and then maybe from above and below, and then it's in the factory.
Mark Summers
Then
Unwrapped.
cut to a train dumping flour into a thing that goes down into a factory.
It's still interesting to see the way these things are made. How's it made?
Oh, totally.
But Unwrapped, Mark Summers would sit in that
I miss Unwrapped.
diner set.
Mm-hmm.
He was always there eating the sweets. That was the first interview I ever did in radio. Was Mark
Wow, really?
Summers. Yeah, and it was awful. One, I sucked, and I was nervous, and I just kept saying, I think he was there to promote Unwrapped. I just kept saying, when I was a kid, 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 when I was a kid. And he's like, shut up. He was nice. He was nice about it. But
What do you mean? When I was a kid, I watched you a lot. I feel like
Yeah.
that would be good for one thing to say.
yeah, well, whatever. I just kept bringing it back to Double Dare.
Oh, okay.
When I was a
Yeah.
kid, I made my reading group the No Names because I saw a team on Double Dare called the No Names.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, okay, yeah, great. What a terrible interview. Oh,
Ugh,
boy.
I'm really bad at that kind of thing too, but I don't have any practice.
Well, it's a skill you have to learn. And I still don't know how good I am at it. I think I've probably gotten better because there was a point when I was interviewing these bands when I was at 99X that I did not give a shit about.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to just go ask the same generic questions, and
Oh, and they love that when you don't ask generic questions.
it depends. Some people, I would try to talk to them about things like what's in the refrigerator on the tour bus.
That's a cool question.
Yeah, I sometimes I think I probably got weird on purpose and tried to push, and not even like I wasn't trying to be shocking to shock them or get them
Right.
to react. It was just my rebellion. I was like, I'm going to rebel against doing an interview, so I'm going to do it this way. But I think sitting down and asking people questions like that, what's in the refrigerator on the tour bus, and trying to get a little more personal with them, if done right, and you seem sincere and you show some interest, you can probably pull some things out of people. But there's other people who just want to promote the shit that they're promoting.
Yeah, they don't want to think.
So, yeah, interviewing Mark Summers.
Maybe those same people will pick out just a Hershey bar. They don't want to think. They just want a Hershey bar.
No, I don't like Hershey
Chocolate.
bars. You like a straight up Hershey bar?
Yeah,
Nah,
I do.
boring. Snooze fest.
Yeah,
It should be
kind of
called
boring. I'm into it.
Should be called a snooze.
Snooze bar.
Yeah, a Hershey
Snooze bar. That's that's the snooze bar.
What's a snooze bar?
You know, like on little like clocks, like the alarm clocks.
Oh yeah, the snooze button.
It says snooze bar. It'll say because it's usually a bar in the front so that you can find it, so that you can like hit it and give yourself 10 minutes.
So you're saying we should make a candy bar?
Yes, and just it's so boring.
Yeah, well, it's already out there. It's called Hershey's bar.
Well, we'll call ours snooze bar. They don't have you can't only make one type of all chocolate bar.
People really enjoy the taste of Hershey's bar, which
I do. And I've heard people who are like from England or like American chocolate is horrible. And I watched this YouTube video of Europeans trying American chocolate and they tasted the Hershey bar and they hated it. And then I ate the Hershey bar and I still loved it. I was searching for the reason to dislike it. I was like, all right, I believe these people. They're not faking it. I'm going to try it and like try and find the fault in it. And I couldn't. I loved it.
well, milk chocolate in general was something that a lot of people weren't used to, and it became the standard chocolate in the United States.
Yeah.
The fact that dark chocolate, which I know has gained popularity, and you can find it a little more easily now. But that dark chocolate, I feel as though was the standard, and the milk chocolate was a strange thing. But here's those Americans and their dumb palates. We got to give them the sweeter milk chocolate because they're not going to enjoy this.
Because they just people who don't like dark chocolate don't like it because they chew it up. You're not supposed to chew it. You're supposed to let it melt. Supposed to let it melt your mouth.
Huge fan of dark chocolate.
Love dark chocolate, but not too dark.
Sometimes it's a challenge.
But at some point it turns into like, fuck you whiskey, where it's like, all right, whiskey, we get it. You're so strong. You taste like a tree. I don't need that. I like a dark chocolate, but it doesn't have to be like, fuck you. I'm so dark. I'm bitter and horrible. Yeah, like somewhere above that.
What about a baking chocolate? What does that mean?
Semi-sweet?
Yeah, you bake. There are baking chocolates that you're not supposed to eat straight up.
Well, yeah, those are... Well, baking chocolate is usually semi-sweet, I think. And then it just depends after that. But, like, cocoa powder is horrible. Cocoa powder you're excited about as a kid. You know, it's this, like, chocolate in a powder. I'm going to lick my finger and put it in here and taste. It's bitter and horrible.
Snort it.
Yeah, snort it.
Is that the same?
But yeah, semi-sweet's good. Semi-sweet's, I love semi-sweet.
Like when you make chocolate milk, and then you could get the powder instead of the syrup.
Oh, that's different because that's full of sugar.
Okay, so that's different.
Yeah.
I'm not well versed in those things. I'm with you on that. And something like a sugar cube. When I was a kid, I thought a sugar cube was going to be amazing, and it was actually pretty gross.
Oh, I loved a sugar cube.
I don't know what it was about a sugar cube, but it just did not taste like taking a spoonful of sugar out of the sugar jar.
Oh, I was in 4-H, and I would tell them I had asthma, and I'd go to the office and find my inhaler, but I would really just go steal sugar cubes that were meant for the horses. I'd eat them. They probably had medicine on them or something.
I was going to say those bigger sugar cubes too, because it's a horse.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Keep your palm flat.
So their lips can do all the work.
Like a rhino's got that big finger lip.
Yeah, they do have a thumb for a lip.
But a horse, it'll, mistake your finger for a carrot and bite that thing right off.
No.
Yeah. And it will just keep chewing.
What is it now?
It doesn't know much, but it knows it's scared of a mouse.
They do spook easy.
Yeah, a little mouse. And it bucks you. What a beast. A horse.
I love a horse's hind legs.
Its butt?
Yeah, its butt and like this, but not just its butt, because that's from behind. But I mean like its side. Like its butt, cheek, and thigh. That's my favorite part of a horse. I used to ride horses.
I've seen pictures of this.
Yeah.
You used to have the boots and the helmet and the gogs.
No helmet. No gogs.
You had the riding helmet.
No, because that's English riding, and I was Western.
Oh, real American.
Yeah, I was a real American.
Think about eating a horse leg at the Renaissance Fair. Just holding on to the hoof. That's a feast. That's what they should be selling.
Oh, you have a turkey leg? How droll. How common of you to have a turkey leg. I myself have the hind leg of a horse.
Yeah, the jousting horse that loses.
That's right. Out of my way, knave.
It becomes the meal. You walk around with the giant hind leg.
It is weird how people don't eat horses.
People do eat horses.
People do, but even back then, you don't. It's all like mutton and venison and game.
And I think it's because there's a strange bond with you're not eating a dog here. It's like it's your pet.
Yeah.
Or it serves a purpose. Like it can. Certain dogs are bred to assist you, but still, it's like you were buddies.
Yeah.
And a horse, I think, was the same way. Though apparently the United States is one of the biggest exporters of horse meat. We just don't eat it.
Really?
But we export it. So
same thing with chicken feet.
Man, people love chicken feet.
Yeah, we're the highest exporter of chicken feet.
Because there's just so many chickens killed, right?
Yep. And Americans don't want their feet.
What about pig snouts?
So I didn't ever meet my grandpa, but I've heard tale of him sitting on his chair eating pig's feet. And my mom said his like face was shiny.
A pickled pig's foot?
Yeah. You know, like in that pink jar
Mm-hmm.
in that weird shelf of your grocery store.
It's got nails too, right? You just
Ew, yes. Oh,
I mean,
God.
when you think about it, it's no worse. Eating the actual meat of the animal really isn't much worse than eating its foot. Or it's like eating a cow's tongue, a taco with cow tongue.
Yeah.
It's
Lengua.
which apparently it tastes great, but you
Yeah.
can see the taste buds on it, so I don't want to eat it. But ultimately, what's the difference?
Yeah, I feel like having to navigate through the inedible parts of a pig's foot.
When it's like ripping apart a chicken on rotisserie chicken, there's a lot of inedible parts there, and luckily they take the guts out, but it's all this bone, and you're just ripping the meat off of it.
Yeah, that's true.
There's tendons, ligaments.
I know, you eat the tendons. You can eat those tendons.
No, thank you. We've really
Yeah.
gotten off candy bars to pig's feet. Well, we were talking about sugar cubes.
Okay.
But yeah, we can wrap it up. I was hoping that it was going to be closer, the nougats, and then there was going to have to be further study and breakdown, and maybe I had to take out a flashlight to really study the color, and I really needed to pay attention to the different tastes. But it just turned out to be almost immediately. If I had
that I was right.
if I had looked into it before we did the show, I guess we wouldn't have had a show on this topic.
Yeah, so I'm glad you didn't do that.
Should I eat these? I already ate a Twix today. And, you know what I bought?
What?
I bought one of those fancy chocolate bars. It was dark chocolate with almonds and sea salt.
Ooh.
But I ate that whole thing. So I shouldn't finish these. I'm going to put them in the refrigerator or something.
Okay.
Because they don't melt.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, quickly when we were talking about like fancy candy bars, though. There's these guys, the Mast Brothers, which if you ever come across this, I'm putting this out there. Don't buy their chocolate. Dude,
Why is that?
the Mast Brothers were two bros who adopted a hipster look because it's all about marketing with them. Their whole thing is marketing, which, okay. I'm not going to get into it.
So they were squares, but they put on a hipster look?
Well, I'm not saying the hipster is the way to go, too. But they grew the mustache, the curly mustache, and started wearing the vintage T-shirts and, getting into the hipster look. They adopted that, and they marketed their chocolate through its packaging. And it has very beautiful designs on its packaging. But the chocolate itself is some of the most disgusting chocolate you'll ever taste, and they don't even really make it themselves. It was a big scandal. They, I think, claimed they were making their own chocolate, but it came to light that they were just buying it and someone else was shipping it. And then they would put their fancy wrappers on it. And people, though, flocked for that. They would go out. Because, I don't want to get into it too much because we had a show a few shows ago where I railed against marketing and commercialism. But yeah, it's like, what fools. Look up Mast Brothers. Look up the two Mast Brothers right now. Mast Brothers chocolate.
Is it MASTE?
No, it's just MAST.
Okay.
Mast Brothers.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, look at these buffoons.
Oh, okay.
You see them?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What do you think of them? What do you think of those guys?
Yeah, they look cool.
Yeah. It's all a curated image. The one guy's got the tattoos on his arm and they grew the long beards.
And look at all their cocoa beans.
Yeah, these guys are frauds. But look at that packaging. It's
packaging is beautiful. Ooh. Okay, now this picture of them is not cool.
Which one are you looking at? The one where they're wearing trench coats?
Yeah.
And the guy's got his... That's not a fedora, is it? I don't know what kind of hat it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's got
But he has like a scarf on with his stupid Ugh.
Yeah. These are insufferable men.
Yeah. I liked it. Yeah. They seemed a little bit less insufferable when their beards were shorter, and now they look... Ew.
Look for a before picture. See if you can find Mast Brothers before so you can just see what they look like. And look, if you want to say they're good business people, they are. They set out and they did something. They created an image.
Oh, lame.
Yeah, you see them before? Bros.
Yeah.
That's just a bro. I was in a fraternity. I tried to bang chicks. That was, I high-fived my friends.
Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy.
Where do you
You know, because Larry the Cable Guy, if you look him up from the...
Oh, yeah.
I think from like the early 90s, he's just like a sort of regular... I feel like he's from New Jersey or something.
Yeah. And then he cultivated that whole character, which...
Yeah. I cut my sleeves off my shirt.
I guess because it's entertainment, it's like, all right, I created
fine.
a character.
If you have a character, that's fine. But don't then do interviews and talk about, like, living on the farm, you know?
Yeah.
Fucked up.
It's like, do you think he ever sits there and hates the fact that this is what he's become and he has to do that?
Probably. But then he goes and, like, checks his SunTrust account and he's very happy.
Well, I know that he hires people that we know whose names I won't mention on the show because they don't want anyone to know, but he hires writers. He doesn't even do his own material anymore.
Right.
He just write this and then he goes through it. I like this one.
Yeah, because he's not a redneck.
So, I mean, I guess these masked brothers, though, they created characters too, and they're playing the part. And they've sold...
But then to do subpar bullshit chocolate.
It is, yeah. Read about this. Just stay away. If anyone comes across Masked Brothers, please don't buy it. Please.
Yeah, don't fall for it.
Don't contribute to this.
Uh-oh.
What?
Here's Jared Leto with a bunch of Masked Brothers chocolate. Best chocolate in the world?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, how much did they pay him to say that?
Yeah, so much money. I know you love Jared Leto.
But beautiful wrapping. And again, the wrapping, cool patterns. Things you didn't see on candy before, but... If you want to spend an outrageous amount of money, what does a masked bar candy bar cost? Masked bar price $10. $10 per bar.
What?
The company's price of around $10 per bar is not unheard of in the world of artisanal chocolate, but certainly on the higher end. And then here's right under that: how the Masked Brothers fooled the world into paying $10 a bar. And that is, again, as business people, they fooled people. Here's one, $12. Masked Brothers chocolate made in Brooklyn. If we tell you how long we've been dreaming and scheming to get these bars, will you promise not to think we're dorks? 8 months. You'll understand once you try Rick and Michael's beautiful chocolate. They're doing bean to bar, for crying out loud.
Oh, bean to bar.
So, anything nasty I said about a Hershey's bar, I would eat that all day, every day, over these chumps, shitty candy bars.
All right, now I'm reading about this, so we should end it so I can read it.
Yeah, you're gonna get sucked into that hole, but it's interesting. It's something, surely something to read, and how you just get these blind fan boys and girls who flock to get the masked bros. Don't do it.
Masked Brothers obscure the fact that they originally used remelted mass-produced chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Originally, so maybe they've progressed from that, but they lied.
Yeah.
The whole thing was a fucking lie.
Customers loved them, and what began in their apartment led them to a bigger space. Yeah, wow. Interesting.
Con artists.
Con artists.
As far as I'm concerned. Except they're not stealing from you because you're willingly handing over your money.
Right. Well, if you're going to pay $12 for a candy bar, you're out of your mind.
But it's got anchors on the print. The print has got some anchors.
It's artisanal. All right. Thank you for listening to One Topic. Please like and subscribe, rate and review. Support our sponsors, hoffandpepper.com. You can get some really awesome locally made hot sauce for... Oops. I don't know where I was going. You can get some really awesome locally made hot sauce in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Go to hoffandpepper.com. Use our code OneTopic15 for 15% off. And do that. Support them. We love them. We love you. Goodbye.
Oh, and in case you care, it got up to 82 degrees.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, Autumn.
Do you like hot sauce?
You know, I do like hot sauce, but I'm getting pretty bored of my regular Texas Pete or Tabasco. I'm looking for a local sauce without any additives or extracts. A company that uses local peppers so it's as fresh as possible, and a company that really cares about the integrity of the sauce and where their ingredients come from.
Definitely.
And hey, while we're at it, I don't want a sauce with too many ingredients. You know, a lot of other sauces out there, they have all kinds of fillers. So I'd love to find a sauce with, I don't know, let's say no more than 5 ingredients. I mean, it's crazy, but there's gotta be a company out there that hand processes their sauce. You know, bottling and labeling every bottle themselves. I'm probably asking a lot.
Well, you really are, but there is a hot sauce out there who only uses 5 ingredients.
What?
0 fillers, additives, or extracts, and who bottles, labels, and packages everything themselves. It's called Hoff Sauce.
What?
They're a small batch hot sauce company out of Chattanooga, Tennessee that's won Best Louisiana-style sauce in the country. How many times? Not once, not twice, 3 times.
3 times!
How does that sound, Greg?
I think that sounds amazing.
You know how you can get your own bottle of hot sauce?
No, tell me please now.
Hoffandpepper.com. And not only am I giving you the gift of the best hot sauce that you'll ever taste, I'm going to give you 15% off if you use the code ONETOPIC15.
Hold on, that's
Yes, get a pen and paper.
1 topic 15.
Good. That's ONETOPIC 15, all squished together. At checkout, you'll get 15% off your order, and your life will be better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.